Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's the last episode of the series, Everything Gonna Be Okay. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. After such an intense moment at the party, Issa invites Nate to please come inside her place to talk. Nate is saddened and feels that he was wrong. Everything that happened isn't good for him. He's embarrassed and feels like he has to take a step back. He holds back tears, feeling everything has been messy, which feels toxic to him. Issa is at a loss for words, but can only respond with, okay. Issa walks into her home exhausted and receives a text message from Lawrence reading, "I'm really sorry about tonight. That's not how I wanted things to go." Issa is greeted by sunlight as she awakens still on the couch. Molly stops by for support and brings comfort food. Issa is thankful Molly's there but doesn't have much of an appetite. She'll hop in the shower to help ease her mind. Molly tells her that everything will be fine and someday they'll look back on this and laugh about it. Her moment of self-reflection begs to differ. Her tears lasted all night long. She's worried about all of the decisions she had to make, only to gain more. Issa just wants to fast forward to the good part when everything will be okay, but her inner self bids her good luck. A small amount of family and co-workers gather to celebrate Molly's birthday. As Issa helps to host the festivities, a co-worker reports that Molly and Torian's work relationship balances very well, and she's happy for them. Tiffany arrives and is introduced to Kelly's new man, Desmond. They can't even explain without laughing how they met. Molly's nerves won't allow her to pick out an outfit, and Issa is still hurt by her personal life. Molly wants her to focus on her personal progression instead. Be happy in the moment. Molly enjoys family singing happy birthday and most of all, her mom being present and healthier. Everyone can see that Molly shines with happiness. There's a montage of shots of a time lapse. Crenshaw and his retail location. Koya has bad news that a pipe has burst at the Crenshaw location and hopefully a lot of the fashions aren't ruined. Gladly, it's just a ploy for Issa's birthday party. Koya also had a great idea to tell supporters to donate finance gifts to the block. They've raised over $5,000. As the ladies chill and talk about potential birthday D, Issa decides that she'll make a move on her own. Molly reminds Kelly that her firm is interested in her financial contributions. Her knowledge and expertise would be a great idea to have an estate division. Kelly promises that she'll contact Molly tomorrow. This will give her more time to make a final decision. Issa then notices that she has a visitor, Nate. It's been a while since they've talked and he wanted to stop by and show support. He even still receives the block notices and alerts. The barbershop even put together a donation to give to the block. They made a lot of strides with all of the help from Issa. Nate feels that LA is starting to feel like home, finally. He received a lot of Issa's messages, but he didn't respond because he was just hurt. Issa feels that people come into each other's lives for a reason, and he brought her wonderful reasons. And she tells him that she doesn't regret anything, and he feels the same. They both share a hug, which is cordial, and in some energy feels like a goodbye without saying so. There's another time lapse forward, and it's a visit to Tiffany's in Colorado. Everyone loves her new house, but Tiffany can't stand Denver. She doesn't know anyone there, she's still not working, and her daughter is the only black child in all of her classes. Tiffany is used to being a career woman and didn't sign up to be a housewife of Denver. Derek brings out Simone, and she wishes her mommy a happy birthday. Molly catches up on some work, and Issa hopes that everything with Tiffany will be okay. Even though they're all busy, it's good that they can all make time to celebrate each other's birthdays. Molly wants to know, what would Issa have said had Nathan not interrupted the conversation with Lawrence? Issa says, I have no clue, and besides, remember, I didn't want to be inconsistent. And it's too late to reconsider everything. Molly tells her, coming from someone who used to overthink everything, you might want to go with your gut. I mean, you never know. Molly receives a call from Curtis, and it's bad news. Their mother has passed away. More time passes, and Lawrence gets ready to celebrate his birthday, and his parents wish him well. Issa then calls to add some birthday love. She suggests having a birthday night out on the town, but Lawrence has made plans of his own. There's disappointment on both ends, but Lawrence proceeds with his evening. Another flash of time passing, and Kelly celebrates her birthday. Issa introduces Nazir to everyone, and Kelly has an announcement to make. She's pregnant, and Tiffany is super excited for her. Issa is confused because Kelly always said that she didn't want children, but Kelly explains that by her death, or lack thereof, it made her reconsider everything. Before getting it in with her new boo, Issa has more self-reflection. Everyone is finally making good decisions, and so is Issa. Lawrence calls, and her inner self tells her not to pick up. She has a very nice young gentleman ready to D her down in the other room, and she needs to move on. It'll never work. Time moves forward, and it's been another year. Molly can't believe that she was just celebrating with her mother last year. Issa has a new office location, and everyone seems like there's a calm. Torian has dibs on Molly's birthday this time, but next year, Issa will make sure that they celebrate together. Life is getting busier, and all they can do is their best. Kelly wants Molly to hurry up and leave the office to celebrate her birthday because she doesn't want to miss her celebration. Later that evening, Lawrence comes by to take a look at Issa's new office. It's a very happy setting for her. It's a quick tour and basically a spin around the room and down the hallway. He reminisces about how Issa went from "we got y'all" to "I got mine." Issa can't believe that she did it, and she took it there. Sometimes she was just scared all of the time, had self-doubt, and not being sure of certain decisions. Now she's realized that everything is all in her head. No one was doubting her except for herself. She had to believe that it would all work out. She's okay with finding it out. Then they share a kiss. 1 year later, introducing Mr. and Mrs. Torian Jackson. Tiffany is also pregnant with her second child and glowing with happiness, as Molly's mom is there in spirit. Everyone dances as Lawrence brings Issa a drink before they join. Issa and Molly take a moment to unwind and reflect. Molly thanks Issa for always being her friend, even when her behavior didn't reflect the greatest behavior. No matter what happens in life, she'll always be fine as long as she has Issa by her side. They let loose tears, and they let them flow as they both say, "I love you." Issa has made her strides with the block. She's a successful entrepreneur. She drives past the dunes, the "We Got Y'all" location, Rite Aid, and finally home. It's her birthday, and Lawrence and his son make her a cake. Issa gets ready for the evening out with Lawrence and gets a call from Molly, and it's even more travel time with Torian. They're in Greece. Molly even jokes about how this time maybe Torian has for real broken her kitty for real. And Issa laughs, "Wow, is that what I have to look forward to?" And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So a lot of people are upset and a lot of people loved the ending. But before I get to that, let me just thank each and every one of you who have been rocking with me for this entire season and the previous one of all the recaps and the reviews. Thank you so much. So let's just get into this, right? If you've been following my reviews, how it ended is kind of like how I've been predicting it, right? How the writers kind of concluded that the characters characters aren't all passing away. They're giving us kind of like a little hint of what the characters are doing in the future. An idea that they'll be okay, an idea of maybe some additions that have been added to their lives and how they may handle that. Each character, in some way, shape, or form, we have some sort of closure knowing that certain storylines have wrapped up. And with only 30 minutes per episode, that's really difficult to do. I did say the only way that they will be able to do that is to time lapse, to give some time lapses and also a couple of years passing here or there. I know some people were confused in, the night turning to day and the night turning into day. Like, how much time is passing? Well, if you really pay attention to a lot of the characters, you can get an idea, especially when it comes to the children. Tiffany's daughter, Simone, she's saying, "Hi, mommy." She's saying full sentences, so we can kind of predict her age with that. We can predict when it comes to the time lapse of birthdays. We can, there's a birthday here, a birthday there, and Molly looping another round to another year, and then another year looping around to the wedding. So you can get an idea of maybe a couple of years have passed, or a year and a couple of months, but I'm guessing maybe a couple of years have passed because we're talking about the progression of certain careers. We look at Issa, okay, and Crenshaw. So I'm going to go in order, kind of like to give an idea of what I thought about each character and how they concluded each character. But let's talk about Tiffany and Derek. So everything is not in a pretty bow wrapped up, but we can get an idea that they'll be okay with the career. Tiffany is frustrated that she's not in her role and being independent and having her own job, and she's kind of playing housewife. She doesn't like that, but we do see that she's pregnant again. So we have that idea how that family is moving. But she said, we'll be okay. We'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. So it's closure with that. It may not be on the upswing of things being perfect, but they do have his career starting. They have a new home, but she just doesn't like the location. So we can have an idea that either they'll move or they'll work it out. They'll stay there a couple of years. They'll be fine. We then go on to Molly and her character, that upswing of her finally having happiness. Now, a lot of people were frustrated of how does Molly have all this conflict and stuff going on in the previous season? Now it's just, wrapped up in a pretty bow and she's working and she's married. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a limited amount of time. And Molly has been on this journey of just being unhappy and not being able to just to settle down in that relationship that she's 100% happy with. So we at least get to see that, because that has been her main goal. That has been her main focus as a character. Molly's character is the relationship. Career-wise, she was happy. Family-wise, she has her up and downs with her brother. But the only main thing with the character Molly was the relationship. With Issa, it's more career and the relationship thing kind of being an issue, but not really, kind of just letting things just fall how they may. And of course, Lawrence being on the top on her list and making her happy. But career, if you think about it, and her happiness and just knowing what she wants to do in life was really Issa's main thing. And being insecure, what makes her who she is. Okay, so Issa, with her character, we're finally seeing what she's passionate about, which is helping the community, which is shining light on future artists, which is shining light on development, which is shining light on food and cuisine of people of color in the city. So we do see that development, her finally being content. So let's break down clearly what happened in her decision making. We don't know 100% if there is a correlation with the block and NBW. There could be, because her main thing with this last season was, do I rock with NBW and do I also handle contracts on the side? So it looks like she's doing things independently and she's rocking with her own team instead of depending on a big corporation that could give her maybe a broader spectrum. So she looks like she finally made the decision to be based in the city and to be in her hometown. So that's what it looks like. But it also looks like financially she's fine, right? She's completely fine. She has a better house. Now let's move on to the relationship decision. Now, I've said in several reviews that in every relationship, when considering someone that's being involved in your life, you have to consider, right, all of the things that come with that person. And in Lawrence's situation, it was Condola and the son. And Issa says, I don't want to be a stepmom and all this other stuff. And I think that people just made it seem like it would be an easy decision. of her saying, oh, I just want to be with Lawrence, and he got a baby mama, so what? But a lot of the decisions is, do I want to have that constant reminder of Condola and the fact that he had a child? Like, that's a lot of hurt. So it makes a lot of sense to have enough time lapsed for let a lot of that pain and a lot of that hurt melt away, right? She'll forever have that memory. He'll forever have that memory of what could have been. But when you have two people that have been hurt, it does make sense for them to date other people, have these weird, awkward conversations and phone calls, missing phone calls. That makes sense because it's awkward. It's like, how do we move on? So having a realistic move on time lapse makes sense. So with the writing of that, I do understand why they did that, because if you're hurt, that takes time for that hurt to melt away. They're both trying to get their career straight. He's trying to figure out how to be a co-parent. She's trying to figure out what's good for her. So that time and being by themselves made perfect sense. She's developing herself, being more insecure with who she is and all of the things, and being confident in herself. And he's doing what he's doing with his career, right? And co-parenting. So that makes complete sense. When it comes to Kelly, we see she's evolved with Molly's firm, and now she's helping out, like she said, people of color, and helping them with finance and estate advice, right? So we see her blossom, and she reconsidered a lot of stuff, especially when she's always said, well, I don't want no kids, and me being a guy parent is enough. But she said with her reflecting a lot of stuff that happened in her life, that, you know what, maybe it's not such a good idea. And I met somebody that changed my mind, which everybody has the right to do. You have a right to change how you view things and how you see things in life. So we're seeing it with all of these characters. A lot of people felt that it was rushed. Of course it's rushed. It's only 30 minutes. And it gives us a lot of insight that Issa and Lawrence, they are married, okay? They are engaged, because she has an engagement ring. Little things that she said, subtle things that, oh, is that what I have to look forward to? And him being always around me. So it looks like she's finally accepting that he had a child. The only thing that really ruffled my feathers about the last episode is the fact that she was still working with Crenshaw. I did not like, which I said in the previous episodes, I did not like his behavior. When they had a disagreement about the performance and about the show, that he publicly humiliated her, when that's something that they could have had a meeting about. He tells her, oh, you responded back, and you could have done this and you could have done that. You could have sent me a DM and we could have talked. You could have did a lot of stuff too. That is the only thing where I'm just like, she's still working with him. Like, I would have just, if I was the writer, I would have had Issa drop him. Like, you just don't do that. And you publicly did that, but you want to just, like I said in my last review, you want to compliment me in private. Like, that would have been a business no. That would have been one of those things where I choose not to work with people like that. No. But maybe the character, Issa, saw that it was worth it to just, sweep that under the rug. And she saw that this person really had potential and she wanted to help with that. I mean, maybe that was the way the character saw it. I don't know. But I would have been like, what? Here I am giving you your own showcase and you performed like that. And you could have ended and ruined my entire company. Like, when I saw the last episode and I saw she was still, showed up at the Crenshaw location, I was like, wait, what? Didn't like it. Anywho, but when it comes to Nate, I said, you guys, that it would not work. I was one of those people that was just like, oh, that's great what they have, but it's not going to work, because they were introduced into each other's lives for a reason. I said over and over again that they were confusing the love that they have for one another for introducing them and shining light on things that they needed to take care of with true passion and true love. They were confusing that. Nate was brought into her life to inspire her. She was brought into his life to inspire him. And they just, kind of like, well, I guess this is love. Let's roll with it. We're having fun. We're having some good sex. Kind of like, no. She's constantly thinking about Lawrence. He's constantly thinking about, well, what does she want? What does she need from me? It was just the passion between the two was never there. It seemed kind of just, they were both confused about a lot of things. But what's great is that they noticed what it was. They noticed that this is not good. It was great that they didn't get the apartment together. It was great that certain things happened, because they would have been in a very toxic situation. Okay, let's talk about the people who were just really upset that she got with Lawrence. Let's talk about that. Well, how many times in real life is somebody with someone that maybe we disapprove of or that maybe we don't really particularly like? Well, that's not really our decision to make. I mean, Lawrence and Issa, the characters, they know that they love each other through everything. And they've proven throughout all of the mess, all of the cheating, all of the getting back together and breaking up again and then having it back, through all of that, they still love each other. That just goes to show that they have a very deep-rooted love, that they are meant to be in their eyes, and that they're gonna work it out. So it's okay, you guys. Breathe. Breathe, you guys. Through it all, I think it was a very amazing show. I'll make sure to post a video of what I thought of the series in its entirety, summing up a lot of behaviors, a lot of psychological review of the show, and how it was refreshing to see such a show written, since we have a lot of comparisons, right? And they've done shout outs to when it comes to living single and waiting to exhale. I remember when Molly turned around and she had that certain curly wig with the jacket, I immediately thought of Savannah. That's a good man, Savannah. I thought about the dialogue between Savannah and Angela Bassett's character. You know, I thought about that immediately when she turned around, how they're catching up on life and they're going through stuff. But Issa has made sure to send shout outs throughout the show, pictorially, letting everybody know, hey, I get it. A lot of that influence pop culture wise reflected in this show. But you got to think, there hasn't really been that certain age range, certain ethnicities showing, okay, we're not in college, we're not in high school, we're adults, we have careers, but we got love or interest, but it's really not 100% there. Because we're living single, it's more of a comedic perspective. We're waiting to exhale, it's super drama. But with this show, it had a good balance between the two. Let me know what you thought about this series, what you thought about this episode. Were you happy? Were you upset? Were you confused about the time lapse? Are you just, disapproved of how certain characters did certain things? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys had a good holiday break. I made sure to unplug from social media in its entirety. So if you're wondering, where is Bunny's post? What's going on? That's why I didn't put Insecure up Sunday night, because I was really enjoying some time off. And with the Ready to Love reality show, that took a week off. So a lot of people are like, where's the episode? They took a week off as well. The network was like, y'all can wait, okay? And they're stretching it out, okay? So if you need to binge watch it, make sure that you check the pinned comment below so you can catch up. This Friday is a new episode, so make sure to check out Ready to Love. And also there are some announcements about the new year and some new things to the channel. And I can't wait to show everybody with the big announcements, with an S, what they are, and also new shows, new things, more stuff popping with not only personally what's going on in my life, but the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for you tuning in, for you listening to the reviews and the recaps and enjoying it. And in the meantime, in between time, like I always say, take care of yourself and each other. And my motto, when one show ends, another one takes its place. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you had a good holiday and have a happy new year.